evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting to order, Buena Vista Township, regular meeting, January 27, 2020. Roll call.
Mr. Martinelli is absent. Mr. Turner?
Here.
Mrs. White?
Here.
Mr. Williams?
Here.
Mayor Kelly?
Here. Yes, Mr. Martinelli is under the weather, and we wish him well, and we hope he gets better soon, so we just want to send greetings out to him tonight. On January 2nd, 2020, notice of this meeting was mailed to the Daily Journal and the press, duly posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex. All requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act have been met in compliance with the Sunshine Law. We will salute the flag. Mr. Turner, you want to lead us into this, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
One announcement I forgot to mention, Mr. Pat Smith, our longtime cameraman, who is no longer with us, recently passed away. And we just recently found out, and we're very sorry to hear that. He was a great man. He was here for years. And I wanted to do a moment of silence, if we could do that now. Thank you, and we send out regards to his family. Okay. Approval of minutes, none, Lisa?
Announcements, presentations, and discussions. Our first presenter this evening is Trooper Corey Jett from the New Jersey State Police Troop A headquarters.
Thanks for coming.
Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out. I'm here on behalf of the Buena Vista State Police Barracks, hopefully here on 54. I'd like to thank EMS personnel that help us do our job, dispatchers, all fire personnel, and anyone else on that behalf. First, I'd like to start with the Township stats. We have 559 calls to service. No specific trends on that behalf. Criminal investigations, there were 40. Majority of the crimes involved burglaries from unlocked vehicles. There was a suspect that was involved in a lot of those burglaries that was apprehended. Motor vehicle crashes, there were 24. Most of them were deer. Alarm calls, 26, and those were false alarms, but we did, respond. Burglaries, again, 18 of them, most of them coming from unlocked vehicles. As stated earlier, we did apprehend a suspect. And then medical assist, there were 38. Majority of those were in communities of the 55-plus age range. And one Narcan deployment resulted in saving a life, which is very important. Furthermore, our doors are open 24 hours. If you have any questions or concerns, you can stop in to our barracks right on 54. And at this time, if anyone has any questions, I will do my best to answer them, if anyone does have any.
So when you go right in, it's right in the front, is that the door that's open?
Yes, sir.
Right in the front there. Always wondered that.
Yep. Just give us a buzz. We'll open up the door. Yep.
Well, we want to thank the state police. They're a big help, and we really appreciate them, and we have a good relationship with them and hope to continue in the future. About the deer, officer, is there any recommendations to everybody? I know there was like Pancoast Road, Post Road, Tuckahoe had some deer that I'm aware of. Any warnings for people?
First and foremost, drive safely in terms of speed. It's, they're animals that are just in the wild. They're going to cross the road sometimes. Just, try to keep your eyes on the road, limit distractions for your own safety. Personally, if a deer runs out in front, try your best to stop, but, try not to veer off the road and, hurt yourself. That's really what I recommend in terms of deer accidents. Anything else?
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you so much,
All right,
officer.
thank you, guys.
Thank you, Trooper. Okay. Next, we have oath of office that will be issued to Kathleen Merlino. She is our tax collector. She was just reappointed at our last meeting. She has completed 4+ years of her term. We are excited to continue to have her employed by us. She is a great asset, not only to the community, but also to all the employees that are here, and definitely dedicated. So Kathleen, I'd like to invite you and your family up for your oath of office, and I'll come down.
And she sings well too, Lisa.
Yes,
She has a good
she
singing
does.
voice. She sang at our reorganization meeting and did a wonderful job. We appreciated that.
Thank you, thank you.
If you'd like to place your left hand on the Bible, then raise your right hand. It's a tricky one. And repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Kathleen Merlino,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially
that I will impartially
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
in the office of,
in the office of tax collector
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen, for all your service.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
I see you.
Believe me. I like my
Definitely.
job.
Do you want to say a few words?
Well,
Yeah,
I-
go ahead, Kathleen.
Go for it.
Any announcements coming up for
Okay.
taxes and all?
I
Yeah.
do like my job. I do like helping the people. It's a pleasure. It's my pleasure to help all my property owners and take care of them to the best of my ability. But I thank you all.
Thank you, Kathleen. Next, we have an Outstanding Citizenship Award that will be presented to Mary Motter. Deputy Mayor John Williams will be coming down for that presentation, so we invite Mary and her family to come on up. I'll get a picture of this one.
And the family can come around so we can see you on TV.
On behalf of the Buena Vista Township Committee, I want to present this Outstanding Citizenship Award to Mary Motter. The Buena Vista Township Mayor and Township Committee hereby recognizes Mrs. Mary Motter for her years of exceptional community service and volunteerism. She served for 16 years on the Buena Vista Township Environmental Commission, 12 years on the Special Events Committee, and at the Information Center located in the Patcon Valley Model Railroad Building in Richland Village. Mrs. Motter is hereby recognized as an outstanding citizen of Buena Vista Township. And we thank you on this, presented this 27th day of January 2020. Teresa Kelly, Mayor, Deputy Mayor John Williams, Committeeman Steve Martinelli, Committeeman David Turner, and Committeewoman Ronice White. Thank you very much, Mayor.
And Mayor, I know Chuck Cirillo is with us in spirit because you were helping him in the beginning, and I'm sure he would say the same thing. He really appreciated everything you did. Whenever we needed you to help, you would come in, volunteer to put the calendars together, so many things we may not even have been able to put on that plaque. Well, Mary, we're not sure about that, but we want to thank you for that. So, and your wonderful family, too. I know they've been supportive and also a big help.
It was a pleasure working at the PACCON and seeing Chuck's dream come true. It really was. And your dreams too, you know, but
Yes,
he was a kinsman.
right. And we thank you for everything you've done, Mary.
I personally want to add that I thank Mary for all her dedicated work on all the committees and everything that she did within the township, because we really appreciate it, and we wanted to let you know we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Miss Murray, I gotta say something about Miss Murray. She is a personal friend of mine. I've been knowing her, maybe about 5, 6 years. And I tell you, she's dear to my heart. And I'll be very, very frank with you guys. Anybody mess with Mary, have to mess with me. Because she's an outstanding human being. That's what I'm trying to say. Outstanding human being. Love you very much, Miss Mary.
Too.
All right.
That was all.
All right.
And John, she had so many creative ideas for environmental, all of the giveaways and the projects that were done. She usually thought of them, and we helped her get those done, all the different things. There were so many every year, but Mary, we really appreciate that.
Formed the secretary for many years on the committee, and we appreciate her helpful
You're gonna make me
nature.
cry.
And we appreciate your family coming tonight too. We're pleased that they came.
Thank you.
And your granddaughter used to help us at all the summer concerts
Yes.
and was one of the Miss Buena Vista people. And so we don't forget, it all runs in your family. You have a good family here, Mary.
Thank you so much.
And how's your granddaughter doing? Are you still in college? Are you done yet?
She's gonna get married.
Let Lisa take a picture of what you're holding your plaque with everybody.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mary.
Turn your plaque around.
Show her your plaque. Good.
All right.
Thank you,
All
Mary.
right, thanks for coming, everybody.
Quentin McClendon was not able to make the meeting this evening. He, as well, is not feeling well. So did anybody want to do the
Well,
MLK?
a lot of us, in fact, everybody was at the Martin Luther King Center, and Quentin was cooking the meal for that and organizing that, and it was a well-attended event. It was a full house, and we had very good talent, lots of good speakers, and that was recently on for the Martin Luther King celebration. And does anybody else want to, everyone was there, does anybody else want to say anything?
No,
I might
it
have
was
left out?
well attended, and and the young people carried the service, and they were about 6, 7 speakers, and they did very well. It was very, very well, very well the kids did, and did my heart good to see the kids, carry that particular Martin Luther King service. And the seniors in Newtonville put it on, but this was really one of the best I've been to. All of them were good. This one will really topped all of them. And, we're very, very, really, blessed to have that, spirit of service they do over there and everything. And it's not, the center's for everybody. MLK Center is Buena Vista Township's community center. It just happens to be named MLK Center, Martin Luther King. And, you should go over there and look at it sometimes. Really, really good. A lot of stuff going on in there. And, Quentin's sick. I talked to him earlier today. There's a lot of things going to be going on in the center, which he will, at a later date, talk about. Thank you so much.
Anyone else just comment on?
Yeah, the children gave excellent speeches, and the musicians, they played the violin and some other instruments, and they were really good. Excellent. Good celebration.
Go ahead, Renee.
It was very encouraging to see the young people, you know, even the choirs, none of the young people looked like they were forced to do it, they enjoyed it. I think some of them were even like 2 to 3 years old in a choir, you know, that were singing. It was real encouraging to see, you know, the participation of the young people, not looking like they were forced to do it, but they enjoyed it. And it was, I think overall, the event was, you know, it went really well.
And I think the seniors said they gave them all the same question, but they all had different answers. And the answers were very inspiring, you know, peace, love, happiness, forgiveness, on those themes. And it was really well done. And for other events at the Martin Luther King Center, the seniors of Newtonville, and to be a senior, you only have to be age 55 and older, and you can get lunch for $1. They meet every Wednesday at 10 a.m. They have a food pantry for anyone that would need it each first and third Wednesday, 1 to 4 p.m. They even have Zumba classes every Friday at 6. Initial class is free, and then each session is $5 after that. And yoga classes now have started every Saturday at 9 a.m., $5 per session, equipment rental available. And that's going to begin in March. So these are just some of the many things that are offered at the Martin Luther King Center that we offer to our residents. So that's all I have on that, Lisa.
Our Director of Public Works, Brian Johnson.
Good evening, Mayor, Township Committee, residents and the public. Buena Vista Township Department of Public Works January monthly report. We're starting out at the beginning of the month on January 4th. Public Works hosts our monthly resident drop-off. We had another decent turnout. We had nice weather. Residents dropped off brush, oil, e-waste materials. I'd like to remind the residents, bring in your oil. Please do your best to bring the oil as straight oil and non-contaminated as possible. That's just meaning not mixing it with transmission oil, antifreeze, water, anything that's not a used oil. Also, with the containers, be sure you bring a good solid container that's not cracked, with good tight lids on it. We're having a lot of problems with people showing up with containers and leaking, and it just it's causing a problem for us because it's a lot bigger cleanup. We're trying to do things right and keep things as clean and environmental correct as possible. So do us a favor and try to bring us some decent containers when you drop off your oil. Dirt roads are being repaired and graded. Roadside trash, tree brush cutting has been done throughout the township. We were able to cut down 7 roadside hazardous trees before they came down during the storms. All yard waste and brush has been picked up or chipped. Potholes has been filled and repaired throughout the township. I'd like to give a shout out to the residents who's been calling and helping us out with the Public Works Department with potholes. We do our best. We're constantly, when we're on the road, we're doing road inspections, but they can be there 1 minute and 5 minutes later a car goes by, they blow out, and then it's there and our guys don't see it. So I do appreciate the residents calling in and helping us out. We do jump on it and film and repair them as soon as possible, as soon as I get the call, or Township Hall gets the call. They relay the message immediately. The girls in the office are very good at doing that, and we're definitely trying to stay up on top of it. This is the worst time of year for potholes with the weather. As you guys know, once the water gets in the cracks, it freezes and it blows the surface of the road up, and it causes a lot of damage. So we are doing our best to stay on top of it. Large and small projects and repairs, upgrades have been made to Town Hall, MLK Center, and other township-owned buildings. Several of our fleet vehicles have been repaired. Continuous maintenance and servicing of all equipment has been maintained. And phase 1 of the township cleanup tree trimming project has started and recently been completed. And phase 2 has just been started as well. If you guys can see what's going on out back. There is plenty of wood that is cut to length and stacked up in the rear of Town Hall. You're more than welcome to come and have the wood just contact myself in the office, 856-692-4121, if you guys would like any of the wood, or Township Hall itself. That concludes my report for this evening. Any comments, questions, concern? Mayor, committee?
I wanted to thank Public Works. I had a call about a tree down, and I believe it was Saturday night. I called Brian. Brian called Collins Lakes Fire Department, who helped us and assisted with that. And so I called them to thank them, and so I want to thank you for taking care of that so efficiently, Brian. And I didn't know that all the fire companies help with this situation, depending what section of the town, so that was new for me
Yes.
to know.
Yeah, it does help out. They are prepared and equipped and also trained to do any kind of tree service that's down across the road. It's a service that they provide in case of an emergency, in case Public Works can't get out there. And also, it does save the township money as far as any overtime of having to call any Public Works department out as well, so it works well.
So I was happy about that. We save money, and we're thankful to our fire departments that help us in these situations. Thank you, Brian.
Yep, you're welcome.
I also just wanted to thank Public Works for the tree project in the back. Just so everybody is aware, with all the recent rain that we had last year and the new septic system that we had to put in, there was nothing but a lake in the back, and it undermined the roots for a lot of the big trees that were back there. We had a lot of trees that toppled over. Thank goodness they toppled directly into the forest. But it really became a potential hazard situation for the township, where it could have taken out either the light poles or even if we had cars back there. So it definitely was a great project. I'm glad Brian stepped up with his guys to be able to take care of that. So it's roughly about 10 feet going back, just to be able to clear some of the undermined trees, the downed trees, and then some of the other trees that were dead back there. So we will end up filling it in and grass seeding it to be able to make it look a little bit better. But we definitely had a serious situation with a lot of the big pine trees back there that, with the wind coming in and those roots that were just saturated, it really just made for a dangerous situation. So I appreciate Brian for jumping on that to get that taken care of.
Yeah, there's quite a stack there,
There is.
quite a stack of wood there.
Yeah, and I apologize, I should have explained that a little bit better. I don't want anybody to think we just jumped in and just wanted to cut live trees down. We did our best to try not to cut any of the trees that were alive and doing well back there. As Lisa stated, it was a situation where they were a hazardous tree because of the ground being so wet. The roots, the high winds had been blowing them, and they were aiming towards the parking lot and town hall and the street lights. And sooner or later, they would have definitely came down either on somebody's vehicle or possibly a meeting night. So we wanted to eliminate the hazard. Like I said, there was a few that were barely alive. A lot of the tops were dead. But, you know, we saved as many as we could. We only went back to about 10 feet stretch back. And everything we measured, anything that would fall now towards the parking lot is at a pretty safe distance now. So just to make that clear, so.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you and the staff.
Our township engineer, David Scheidegg.
Thank you. We did a report of January. I think I'm going to touch on every item on the report for once. First of all, street openings. We recommended approval of 4 street openings. 2 of them are pretty large. They're in Newtonville on 6th Road, down by Jackson Road, by Minor, and by 10th Street. So the gas company's going to redo all those mains out there and do a lot of the repaving of those roads. So we recommend those approvals. It's on the agenda for tonight. Weymouth Malaga Road Phase 6. It's been finished. The DOT has agreed to the final change order, but they're holding up the last remaining documents for reimbursement to the township. I met with DOT today. A gentleman I met with said that he would fast track it through the department head so that we get our reimbursement. Thirdly, the Public Works Building. The revised construction plans and bid specifications are out. We're going to receive bids on February 19th at 11 a.m. in Town Hall. Approximately 3 entities have picked up bid specs so far, and we anticipate at least another 3 or 4. So we're looking forward to those bids on February 19th. 2018 local road program, we recommended final payment to the contractor on behalf of the township. 2019 and 2020 municipal aid grant, that's for Chestnut Avenue. As part of our conversations today with DOT, they have approved combining those two projects together. And so we'll put them out in late spring and do that as a combined project. And that will help to get the vast majority of Chestnut Avenue done. We got two grants, one in the amount of $305,000 and another one in the amount of $290,000. So combined, we have $600,000 or so to get that roadway done. Martin Luther King HVAC replacement, we've been working with an electrical and plumbing engineer on the best way to proceed with getting new HVAC units on the Martin Luther King Center. We've gotten some direction and we'll be putting that out to bid over the next several weeks. Public Works equipment, formal bids were awarded by the Township Committee for a 2019 dump truck, stainless steel dump body, tailgate, salt spreader, and a plow. We're working with the provider and the Township Clerk's office, and we anticipate within probably the next 7 days, we'll have the new vehicle here. So that's my report for this evening.
Thank you, Dave. Does anyone have questions for Dave? All right, good report, Dave. So some progress being made. I know the Martin Luther King HVAC replacement, we've been saving up since 2014, our yearly grants from the county, because we're in a collaborative with them, and so finally we're going to be able to use most of it to get this project done. So happy about that. Okay.
Mayor's report, Mayor Kelly.
All right, this month, we attended the Atlantic County League of Municipalities meeting, and this is where all of the county officials get together and go over what's happening. At this meeting, we had the state person, the head, Michael Darcy, from the League of Municipalities, give us a report, what he sees coming up this year, and some things to work on. And every year, we do work on having our legislators do more about the property tax issues. One of the reasons our property taxes are rising is the schools are getting less aid. That's been stable, not stable, that hasn't increased in over 10 years, I believe, is what they were saying, which was like, wow, that long, no wonder. They keep you the same aid, your prices go up, and then, of course, you have to make up the difference with the property taxes, and that's part of one of the problems with property taxes. So these are some of the issues, and there was quite a few, and that was that report. And then also this past Friday, I attended the mayor's meeting, and they invited Cheryl Shirillo. They wanted to present her with a nice plaque on Chuck and all of his contributions. And it was more than I remembered, all the way back to when he was on the food bank, the Red Cross. This was way back. They had it all down there. It was very nice plaque. And they presented it to Cheryl and her sister Lois, who attended with her. And then Cheryl did good. She spoke well, talked about how her and Chuck met at Stockton. I hadn't heard that story, so it was very nice, well done. So it was a good meeting. And with the mayors, everyone just talked about what was happening in their own town. There was nothing this month to say what we're working on as a group, but that'll probably be at the next meeting. And that's all I have for tonight.
Ordinances for introduction, first reading, there are none. Ordinances for public hearing, second reading, there are none. Public comment on current agenda items only. In order for the committee to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, meeting attendees will be given 2 minutes, all-inclusive, to comment on any agenda items without comment or question from the committee, but only on items specified on the agenda listed for the current meeting. Please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record. Resolutions 52-20, authorized payment of bills in the amount of $366,217.07. That portion is directed to the township. Consent agenda items includes items of business which are not controversial and do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon as one item by the Township Committee. If any discussion is requested on a consent item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. Resolution 53-20, authorizing the issuance of street opening permits to South Jersey Gas. 54-20, appointing Phoenix Advisors, LLC, to serve as disclosure agent and municipal advisor. 55-20, authorizing mayor to execute contract for 2020 mosquito control agreement. 56-20, amending personnel policy to adopt a domestic violence policy. 57-20, amending agreement with Buena Vista Emergency Medical Services. Mayor?
Okay, now I'll take a motion to open to the public for the agenda items only at this time.
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, at this time, if anyone from the public would like to ask about anything that's on the agenda, I would come up now. Julie?
Hi, good evening, Julie Akers, Newtonville. I had a question about resolution number 54, 2020, just to understand a little better about the role of Phoenix Advisors, LLC. We already have a bond counsel, and we already have a grant, Triad Grant, Triad Associates, which assists with grants. I don't remember, if we worked with Phoenix before, I just don't remember in what capacity. So if you could just give a little bit more of an explanation for what this is about?
I did ask about this too, and Lisa gave me a good answer. So Lisa, you want to give Julie the same
Sure.
answer too?
I believe this is going to be roughly the third year in a row that we will have a contract with Phoenix Advisors. It will be an annual contract. Phoenix Advisors serves as a disclosure agent to the municipality for requirements that are required underneath the bonding law. To the point that certain financial statements, whether it's the annual financial statement, supplemental debt statement, the annual audit, and other financial reports are required to be uploaded to the state portal called EMMA, E-M-M-A. They are an agency that is required to do so on behalf of the township to make sure that the township remains compliant with the state agency to make sure all of our financial reporting is done properly.
Wasn't this bond rolled into the most recent bond that we just?
It doesn't have anything to do with a specific bond, it's just a requirement because we are a municipality that has bonding, to have a disclosure agent that will actually upload those documents and communicate with the state agency for EMMA to be able to make sure that our documents are compliant, that we continue to be compliant yearly because we are an agency that bonds.
Okay, I just saw the reference to the 2009 bonds, so that's what they're working with?
It started with the 2009 bonds, but because we continue to have bonds for a municipality, it's a requirement by state law through, it has it in the resolution on that top portion, that it's required that it would have to be done annually, all of our statements.
What is the cost? You don't have to answer that right now.
I don't have it
we'll-
readily available, but
we'll
I'll
get
give it to you
back to
tomorrow. It's not that much for what they do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else have from the public? Okay. All right, motion to close.
Motion to close?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next, could I have a motion to adopt Resolution 5220 to pay the bills?
Motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Turner,
Lisa?
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes. Okay, now a motion to adopt Resolutions 53 to 57, 2020.
Motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Turner,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Kelly.
Yes. Okay, next, our Township Administrators Report. Lisa?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick items. One, again, I wanted to thank Public Works for the work that they're doing out back, and yes, offer the wood that is back there for any members of the public. We know a lot, everybody has any type of stove that they have before we actually take it back to the yard. So by all means, please come to Town Hall. It's directly behind the building. Feel free to load your truck up. I also just wanted to mention our rabies clinic that is coming up. I know this is January, but we only really have 2 TV meetings, so I want to throw it out there. Our annual rabies for cats and dogs clinics are March 7th and March 21st. The first clinic on March 7th is at the Newtonville Fire Hall at 10 a.m. till noon, and Richland Fire Hall from 1 to 3 p.m. And then our second clinic is March 21st at the East Vineland Fire Hall from 10 a.m. to noon, and Collins Lakes Fire Hall from 1 to 3. So please bring your pets out. Licensing also is available, so if your animal has a current rabies vaccination, which is greater than October of this year, you could come into the clerk's office or mail back your form that you received in the mail, and we will send the license out to you. If you come in, we'll issue your license as soon as you are in. I also just wanted to update the public. The township, probably in late spring, will be starting what's called a textile recycling program. It will include a clothing bin that will be at the Public Works building right out front. It's a program that is done through Clean Communities and through Sustainable Jersey. They accept donated clothing, in which they take into a textile program, whether or not they donate the clothing to families that are in need, or recycle the clothing to any other type of purpose use. It's a great program. The township will receive a little bit of revenue. It's not going to be extravagant, but at least a little bit of revenue per pound on the amount that we collect. And again, this is a program that was sent through the Clean Communities and Sustainable Jersey. So we've already ordered the bin to be able to be dropped off, and they're going to work with the Public Works Department to get it installed in the front of the building. That concludes my report.
Thanks, Lisa. Very good. Yeah, I'm glad that you found that program. Okay, next will be our committee reports. Who would like to go first?
I will.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Okay.
Mr.
Yeah,
Turner?
On MLK Day, we went to Servpro. It's a new company on Route 40, and they took over the Muscio building, and we were very, very fortunate to get them in, and the late mayor worked diligently with Max Slusher to get this company in, and they're excited to be in our township, and they found our building. Bring out additional revenue in our tax base. The building isn't just sitting there. Also, I went to the MLK seniors, as we said before, and I ride the township, checking the township out, because I think it's very pertinent to do that. A lot of people don't think, but this township is rural. As I said before, many times before, this is a rural township. People do a lot of things that I guess our zoning officer doesn't see, okay? We have a part-time zoning officer, okay? And when you're part-time, you can't see everything in a rural, spread-out area. People do a whole lot of things that they shouldn't be doing. So, I ride, and, other committees see things, and we call it in. And it takes a while to get through the court system. Okay, they send out the NOV, the notice of violation, then it goes through the court system. It's a very slow process, but most of the time we do get it done. It takes months, but it gets done. And I'm a big proponent of that there, because even though we live in a rural area, still people should not be doing things they shouldn't be doing. They should keep their properties to a certain degree. And that's the way I feel, and since I've been on Township Committee, I have been a proponent of that there. And I like to thank everybody that works for the Township of Buena Vista. They do an excellent job, and, you know, it's good when you don't have to worry about what people are doing and people do their jobs, whether it be in this building, or Public Works, or wherever. And, you know, they do an excellent job. And that's all I got to say. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, Dave. You made some good points, and I forgot all about that ribbon cutting that everybody here did attend. And they will come next month to tell about their services. And we have Max Slusher, I believe, coming also next month, who's with the Atlantic County Economic Development and some of the services that he does for the county. So we do appreciate that. Thanks for
One
remembering
other
that,
thing,
Dave.
Mayor, if I could, I'd like to wish all the ladies happy Valentine's Day.
Just the ladies, Dave? What
Just
about
the
the
ladies.
men?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
involved, aren't they?
I'm a ladies' man. I'm a ladies' man. Guys and ladies that take care of you.
Okay, Bernice?
Just had an opportunity to meet with the MLK Advisory Board and learn of all the updates, the progress of different things that are going on. What else? Also attended the ribbon cutting. It was good to learn about the program, the Serve Pro. It's a program, you never want to have to use it, but it was good to know, you know, what they offer in the event of an emergency. They took us on a tour. It was pretty good, you know.
That's
to
right,
see
they're
the-
also hiring.
Mhm,
So
they
we want
are,
to tell
they
our
are.
residents they are
They
hiring
are,
about
they
3
will.
positions. So-
Mhm. They did say that they will train, pretty much just do it. They do a criminal background check, but other than that, they are willing to train, and I think they said they start 18. I believe they start at age 18, but they did say they are hiring, so it was good to go on a tour of the building and see all that they have to offer. Again, I said, hopefully you never have to use them, but in the event, you know, it was good to know that we had that at our disposal.
And you attended the Atlantic County League and heard Mr. Darcy speak and
Yes,
everything, so
yes.
that was good for you too, to hear. Okay, good. Thank you, Bernice. Okay, John Williams, Deputy Mayor?
Yes, I attended the MLK Advisory Board too, also going back through the month. That was on the 23rd, on Thursday, and what we did is the upcoming events of the MLK is the seniors' annual Dr. Martin Luther King celebration. We had that on the 20th, and then the advisory board on the 23rd. Then the food pantry will be on Wednesday, February 5th. Monday, February 17th is President's Day, so the Township and the MLK Center is closed. Wednesday, February 19th is the food pantry again. And then Thursday, February 27th is the MLK Advisory Board. They're the upcoming events, and some of the MLK Center needs are deck rehab and painting, which is coming in spring 2020, and the kitchen cabinets will be worked on. There was also major capital improvements, so the rear door was replaced on 10/19 last October. And then also I attended the Environmental Commission on January 9th, and what we did is discuss the applications for the Pineland Short Course in March. We also mentioned there was no plastics legislation. It was passed in the House, but not in the Assembly. And then we also had a discussion of the 2-mile trail. Due to the funding we used on the 1-mile trail, we don't have any additional funds for that, but we're going to try to get that going later in the year. Also, I attended the zoning board where we had the election of officers, and then we also had a meeting for the budget, so we're working on the budget. And that's about it.
Anything new with the shuttle, John, or everything's the same on that?
No, the only thing with the shuttle is that their service is improving. It's up to like 53 on and off per day, which is not back to the 63 that we achieved prior to the shutdown of the of the
Train.
train, but we're getting there. It's getting better.
Okay. And our goal is to increase it, that we may be able to continue it, or?
Yes, we're gonna try to increase it to get back to the 63 per day. That's what our goal is, so that we have the backing of the Pascal Sykes and then the Jersey Transit.
Okay, all right, thank you for that, John. And Lisa, the public, number 14?
Public comment. The committee welcomes participation of interested organizations and individuals during regular caucus, workshop, and special meetings. However, in order to conduct the business of the township in the most productive manner possible, attendees will be given 4 minutes, all-inclusive, including all dialogue, questions, and responses from both the speaker and the committee for the designated public portion of the meeting. There may be no transference of speaker's time to other attendees. Please step up to the microphone at the appropriate time and state your name and address for the record. Mayor?
Okay, should I make a motion to open to the public again?
Motion to open to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, if anyone from the public would like to come up, this is the time on anything. It doesn't have to be on the agenda now. Anything at all.
Good evening, Carlo
Hello.
Favaretto Jr., Richland. Just wanted to notify Township Committee of 2 upcoming events. One is to support our Buena Regional Middle School. That's happening this Friday, the 31st, at Marigny Savoy Inn. It's a casino night fundraiser, so there are tickets that are on sale for $50. That get you your food, your drinks, and of course some casino play money. But there's also going to be a Chinese auction there. So just a neat fundraiser for our Buena Regional Middle School, if anybody's interested in attending.
What time would that be?
From 7 to 11 p.m. And tickets can be purchased if you just go on Facebook and search up the Buena Regional Middle School PTO page. That actually has an Eventbrite link for you to click to go ahead and purchase those tickets. Also on March 12th, there's been a health and wellness fair that's been scheduled, also at the Buena Regional Middle School. That'll be open to the public starting at 6 p.m. So just 2 upcoming events to help support our community.
Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Anyone else from the public?
Mary Taft from Post Road. I have a question, and it really goes back to last year. There was a sinkage on Post Road where South Jersey Gas had put their transmission pipe through. And at the time we first brought it up, the discussion was also the trucks that they had used to remove debris had ripped up the whole road. And we've had a hazard sign out there. I think that's now disappeared somewhere. It's been so long. I noticed there's been something done, but not a full correction. And I was just wondering if anybody had a status on that, or if you could get it and just let us know at some point.
I would ask our engineer Dave about, do you know about this, or is there something you can follow up with the gas company?
I can try to follow up. I don't know of any correctional work that's been done out there.
Oh,
But I can
somebody
see what I
patched something. Honest, they patched. I mean, that's,
I believe you. I'll take a look into it.
the ripped up road, no, hasn't been touched. But where it's sinking, where the pipe is, that
Right.
something's been done recently. I don't know who did. I was told maybe you'd know who did it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Not necessarily,
So,
unless, do we know, Lisa? Does Public Works know about it? or-
I don't think necessarily, is it by the bridge on
Yeah.
Post Road?
Yeah.
I know Public Works went out there just to kind of reassure the pipe that was out there, but not necessarily do specific road work for it, but I believe they tried to reassure the pipe that was out by that area, by the bridge, and it was roughly right around the time I think the car almost went off over on the
Oh,
bridge.
that's before the pipes I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
we
think it
have-
was around that time frame when they did it, because I think that was about last summer.
Yeah. and
Yeah.
Where they went is where the road got all ripped up from the South Jersey gas contractors, going up and down the road for almost.
Do you
I don't-
remember how far back South Jersey Gas was out there-ish? By chance?
I have no idea. It's years.
It's been years, okay.
No, it's years, because the people, the residents of Post Road from Lincoln to that bridge, South Jersey Gas refused to give us service. And they just blatantly said they couldn't make enough money on the 10 homes. Anyone past the bridge to Tuckahoe Road has service. We don't have it, and we're not getting it. But in the interim, the road was closed when they did all this transmission. This is the major transmission line that went down towards the shore somewhere. And there's two places where they came into the road. They didn't go straight across. They went out, down, and then across. And both of those places, the pipe, where the pipes are, the road's sinking. But then it also was, there was discussion about the fact, and it was agreed that the road had been by the bridge there, had been all ripped up from their trucks, removing debris, and has never been corrected at all. I thought there was a discussion about trying to combine it or something. Okay, I was just
No,
wondering.
thanks for bringing it to our attention,
It's about a year
Mary.
old, but
Yeah.
I was just
No,
wondering
we're
if there
gonna
was an
have Dave
update.
assess it, get back to us, and then maybe we can contact the gas company and see if there's a new rep or somebody that has a different idea. Because what was the reason? Just because there wasn't enough customers to make a profit?
Oh, you mean for us? Oh,
Well,
it's
you were
because
saying about the gas
opening is
company was the
yeah.
other thing. Yeah.
Well, and it's two separate items. And that is because the line is right before Atlantic County and the Township. It's in Vineland. And I think they just don't want to go through Vineland to open the line and bring it down. But this sinking pipe could be of concern down the road, in the road. Thank you.
All right, thank you,
Thank
Mary,
you.
for bringing it to our attention. Anyone else from the public would like to say anything? Larry, you have any announcements for the veterans while you're here?
No.
Larry, you there? Not at this point, okay.
I would like to say that,
Well, come up, might as well come up if you're speaking.
I didn't know I had to do this.
No, you don't have to, but,
No, I would like to say that I was nominated and elected for the advisory board for the veterans in Hamilton.
oh, congratulations,
In
Mary,
Hamilton.
Larry.
Good.
We wish you well.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. It's another step in the process.
And I'm sure you can come and notify us of any events or things that could be helpful for the veterans. We'd like to hear about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Will
you.
do. Thank you.
All right.
Yep, thanks.
Right. No one else has anything, then we'll get a motion to close.
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, at this time, I guess we're gonna make another motion to go into executive session. We weren't able to finish earlier, so we will probably adjourn this meeting, go back to our executive session, and we would be coming out, but the estimation may be another hour if we,
I would probably say about another 30, 35 minutes, but we
Okay.
do not anticipate any action to be taken.
okay, so we would just be in discussion. We may not take any action, so it may not be worth waiting for us to come out at this time, just to let you know, so you don't have to wait around. Okay, then, so we'll have a motion to go, to adjourn. Motion to executive, okay, let me do that.
Motion?
And then that's roll call.
Turner?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Kelly?
Yes. And then we will, okay, that's right, we won't adjourn because we have to do that and come back. Okay. All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll be going into executive, and wish you a good night if you aren't staying.